swaths of it. No,
okay, let's take out the goddamn chest.
Inconvenient and, quite frankly, bizarre.
Street
There's
war.
no objective principle at work here. It is a subjective,
Street whore from China.
process of deciding which parts of God's objective law
From
they
China.
feel like following.
China.
They can do that with a command
China.
as clear as Matthew 5:17-19. Then they can do it with anything. So we have contradictions, vagueness, and rampant cherry picking. But now we must turn to the darkest corner of this issue. What happens when God's objective commands are not just inconvenient, but are actively, monstrously evil?
You suck.
We now arrive at the philosophical heart of the matter. The Christian claim to objective morality rests on a foundation known as divine command theory.
Goddamn divine command. Goddamn divine
what is
command.
morally good is good simply because God commands it. Goodness is defined not as an independent standard that God adheres to. Goodness is defined as whatever God wills. This sounds neat and tidy, but it has a horrifying implication. It means that if God were to command something like genocide, or slavery, or the murder of children, those actions would become, by definition, objectively good. The Christian apologist will typically respond, but God would never command such things. He is perfectly good. The problem with that defense is that, according to the Bible, he already has. The objective moral commands in the Bible are not limited to love your neighbor. They also include some of the most barbaric and evil instructions ever put to paper. Let's talk about genocide. In the book of Deuteronomy, as the Israelites are preparing to enter the promised land, God gives them these explicit instructions regarding the inhabitants. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verses 1 through 2. When the Lord your God brings you into the land you are entering to possess and drives out before you many nations, you must destroy them totally. Make no treaty with them and show them no mercy. Destroy them totally. Show them no mercy. In case that wasn't clear enough, it's repeated in chapter 20, verses 16 through 17. However, in the cities of the nations the Lord your God has given you as an inheritance, do not leave alive anything that breathes. Completely destroy them, as the Lord your God has commanded you. This is not a regrettable side effect of ancient warfare. This is a direct, divine command for ethnic cleansing. This is God, the supposed source of objective good, commanding genocide. Let's talk about slavery. The Bible does not condemn slavery, it regulates it. Exodus chapter 21 provides a set of rules for owning human beings, and in verses 20 through 21, we find this chilling passage.
God damn it.
Anyone who beats their male or female slave with a rod must be punished if the slave dies as a direct result. But they are not to be punished if the slave recovers after a day or two, since the slave is their property.
God damn it.
Let that sink in. The objective moral law of God states that if you beat your slave so severely that they die, you are not to be punished as long as they cling to life for a day or two.
God,
the reason given? Because the human being just beat to death is your property. This is a divine endorsement of chattel slavery and brutal violence.
Jesus fucking Christ.
How about in Exodus 12, God's final plague on Egypt is to go through the land and kill the firstborn son of every Egyptian household. This is divine mass child killing. In Psalm 137, verse 9, after a lament about the Babylonians, the psalmist concludes with this blessing. Happy is the one who seizes your infants and dashes them against the rocks. And in Hosea 13, verse 16, God pronounces judgment on Samaria, saying, they will fall by the sword. Their little ones will be dashed to the ground. Their pregnant women ripped open. So, when an apologist says God is the foundation of objective good, what they are really saying is that the foundation of objective good includes genocide, slavery, and infanticide. This is the ultimate bankruptcy of divine humanity.
Suck my dick, bitch.
It doesn't provide an objective principle for morality that we can use to reason about new situations. It just provides a list of decrees. We cannot derive a general moral principle from genocide is good sometimes, or slavery is acceptable if they are your property. All it tells us is that good is whatever the most powerful being says that it is. That is not morality. It's a cosmic protection racket. This reveals that the Christian isn't actually getting their morality from the Bible. They are doing what all humans do, using their own innate, evolved sense of empathy and reason to decide that genocide and slavery are wrong. And because those things are commanded in their holy book, they must then invent elaborate excuses, like, oh, it was a different time, oh, it was metaphorical, to explain them away. They are subjectively judging God's objective commands and finding them to be wanting. But this leads us to the final and most terrifying problem. The system's ultimate flaw, which turns it from a mere philosophical mess into a genuinely dangerous ideology.
No, I want to play the damn game, you slut. I don't want to watch the game, you son of a bitch.
Is contradictory, vague, subject to cherry-picking, and founded on commands that are morally repugnant. But the final nail in the coffin of so-called objective morality is this. The system provides a perfect, unforgeable permission slip for literally any act imaginable. Think about the character of God as he is portrayed in the Bible. He is a being who has commanded his followers to kill every man, woman, and child in a city. He has laid out rules for beating slaves. He has commanded a father, Abraham, to take his own son up on a mountain and ritually sacrifice him. Because this is the established character of God, a believer can never say with certainty that God would never command me to do X if X is a violent or horrifying act. Why not? He already has on multiple occasions in their own holy book. Now let's bring this into the modern world. What happens when a pastor gets on stage and says, God has spoken to me and he has commanded our church to shun all homosexuals and their children?
Suck my dick, bitch.
What happens when a politician claims that God has told me that our nation must go to war, for he is on our side? What happens when your neighbor tells you, with tears in their eyes, that God has commanded them to do something unspeakable, because it is a test of their faith, just like Abraham? How can another Christian using only the Bible prove that this command is not from God? The simple answer is that they can't.
Suck my motherfucking dick, bitch.
They can say, well, that doesn't sound like the God of love that I know. But the person claiming the revelation can point to Deuteronomy 7, to Exodus 21, to Genesis 22, and say, are you saying the God of the Bible is not a God of love? He has commanded these things before. He is commanding me now. They can say, we need to test the spirits. But how? What is the test? In a world where God is steadfastly hidden,
Come on,
where he performs no public miracles, writes no messages in the sky, and offers no independent confirmation of anything, what objective test could possibly be run? There is none. The entire system collapses into the most extreme and dangerous form of subjectivity imaginable. The unverified, unfalsifiable private claim of a single human being. The apologists claim to have objective morality is just a shield. But behind that shield, there is not a clear, consistent code. It's a moral abyss.
God damn it.
It's a system where the so-called objective truth is whatever a person can convince themselves or others that God whispered into their ear.
Ghost.
This is not a foundation for morality.
Fucking ghost.
It's a recipe for moral anarchy, justified by divine sanction. It has been used to justify crusades, inquisitions, slavery, apartheid, and countless acts of abuse and bigotry. And it can all be traced back to the fundamental flaws in the source code itself.
God damn it. God fucking damn it.
So let's review. The Christian claim to a unique, objective morality is an illusion. In fact, it's complete and utter bullshit. It's a lie. We've seen that its foundational text, the Bible, is filled with direct moral contradictions, forcing a subjective choice between opposing command. We've seen that its key principles are often so vague that they become a Rorschach test for our own pre-existing biases, leading to thousands of denominations with competing moral views. We've seen that its followers engage in mass cherry-picking, flagrantly ignoring the crystal-clear commands of Jesus Christ himself when they become inconvenient to them. We've seen that its very foundation, divine command theory, is built on a quicksand of morally repugnant acts, endorsing genocide and slavery, offering no useful principles, only a worship of raw power. And finally, we've seen how this entire broken system creates a divine blank check, where any personal claim to a divine command, no matter how evil, cannot be biblically or empirically disproven, making it the most radically subjective and dangerous moral system one could possibly devise. The truth is, Christians do not get their morality from the Bible. They get it from the same place every other human does, from our evolved capacity for empathy, our powers of reason, our cultural inheritance, and our ongoing conversation about how to live together and flourish. They then project that morality back onto their holy book, highlighting the parts that they like love your neighbor, and desperately explaining away the parts that they don't, like dash their infants against the rocks. This pretense of objective morality is just that. It's a complete smokescreen. A comforting story they tell themselves to feel that their moral intuitions have cosmic significance. But the moment that you look behind the curtain, the entire edifice collapses. A truly objective morality must be based on observable realities, like well-being and the reduction of harm, accessible to all people through reason and evidence, not on the capricious, contradictory, and often monstrous whims of a hidden God. What do you think? Did I miss a key verse or a philosophical argument that resolves these issues? Let me know in the comments below. I'm always open to the discussion. If you appreciate this kind of in-depth, evidence-based skepticism, please like this video and subscribe to Skepticus. I hope to see you again soon. If I have said anything that has in any way offended Yahweh or Jesus or the Holy Spirit, they are free at any time to chime in and correct me on anything that I have said.
Guys,
it's your moment. Yeah.
Now buckle
I
the
think
green trick right here.
I'll see you on future videos. Until I do, I will leave you with this. Lo, I say unto you, stay skeptical.
Jesus goddamn fucking Christ.
Wait a minute. Am I hearing this right? You want me to insult you?
Yeah! I'll give you $20 if you do a good job.
$20.
Right.
Look, Mr. Jefferson, keep your $20. This one's on me.
What happens when a hit sitcom runs out of ideas? Instead of a graceful exit, some shows from the 70s and 80s chose chaos. They added new kids, moved across the country, and introduced storylines so bizarre they had to be seen to be believed. Get ready for a trip down memory lane to revisit the shows that should have ended years earlier. These are 13 sitcoms from the 70s and 80s that went our way too long. 1. Happy Days.
Can I have $10 to buy a blouse?
No.
All right, then. Can I have $10 to buy books?
I want a receipt.
Let's start with The Undisputed King, the show that literally created the term for a series going off the rails.
Jesus goddamn.
When Happy Days first premiered in 1974, it was a warm, nostalgic look back at the 1950s. It centered on the wholesome Cunningham family, particularly teenager Richie and his friends. But the show had a breakout character, a leather jacket-wearing, motorcycle-riding cool guy named Arthur Fonzarelli, or the Fonz. Truth be told, the Fonz became so popular that the show slowly shifted its focus entirely to him. For the first few seasons, this formula was pure gold. It was one of the biggest shows on television, a cultural phenomenon that defined the 70s. The magic was in its simplicity and charm. You had Richie Cunningham's innocent adventures, Mr. and Mrs. C as the perfect TV parents, and the Fonz as the ultimate symbol of cool who was still part of the family. But after a few years, the well of 50s nostalgia started to run dry. The writers needed new ideas, and that's when things got desperate. The turning point, the one that became a legend of bad television, happened in a season 5 episode. The cast goes to Hollywood, and to prove he's still brave, the Fonz accepts a dare to water ski over a shark. Yes, a real shark was involved, sort of. It was a ridiculous cartoonish stunt that had nothing to do with the show's original appeal. It was the moment Happy Days stopped being a relatable family sitcom and became a live-action cartoon starring Fonzie. Believe it or not, the show continued for 6 more seasons after that. Key characters like Richie and his sister Joni left the show. The storylines got even more bizarre. Fonzie became a teacher at the high school, then a dean. The show introduced Joni's boyfriend Chachi, who was basically a mini-Fonz. They even brought in new characters that nobody cared about. It limped along, a shadow of its former self, all because the network couldn't let go of Fonzie's popularity. The final seasons are a tough watch, a clear example of a show that went on for about 5 years too long. The departure of a main character is tough, but what happens when a show loses not one, but 3 of its core cast members and tries to replace them with lookalikes? Our next entry is a masterclass in how not to handle cast changes. 2. Three's Company.
Hello? Janet, what took you so long to answer the phone? I was getting Cindy out of her wedding gown. Isn't her husband supposed to do that?
In the late 70s, Three's Company was a ratings juggernaut. The premise was simple, and for the time, a little daring. 2 single women, Janet and Chrissy, need a roommate for their Santa Monica apartment, and they find one in Jack Tripper, a charming culinary student. To get around their grumpy landlord, Mr. Roper, who would never allow a single man to live with two single women, they pretend Jack is not interested in ladies. This misunderstanding was the engine for the show's comedy. It was full of slapstick, hilarious mix-ups, and innuendo, all held together by the incredible physical comedy of John Ritter as Jack. The chemistry between Jack, the sensible Janet, and the bubbly Chrissy was perfect. The first crack in the foundation appeared when the original landlords, the Ropers, were given their own spin-off. They were replaced by a new landlord, Mr. Furley, played by the brilliant Don Knotts. The show survived this change. The Ropers were given their own spin-off. They were replaced by a new landlord, Mr. Furley, played by the brilliant Don Knotts. The show survived this change, but the next one was a major blow. Suzanne Summers, who played Chrissy, left the show after a contract dispute at the height of its popularity. It was a messy public departure that left a huge hole in the series. The producers decided to replace her with a new ditzy blonde character, Chrissy's clumsy cousin, Cindy. The chemistry just wasn't the same. The show kept going, but it felt like something was missing. Then, after another season, they replaced Cindy with a new roommate, a smart nurse named Terry. At this point, the show was a revolving door of roommates. The plots for another season kept going, but Cindy. The chemistry just wasn't the same. The show kept going, but it felt like something was missing. Then, after another season, they replaced but it felt like something was missing. Then, after another season, they replaced Cindy with a new roommate, a smart nurse named Terry. At this point, the show was a revolving door of roommates. The plots became more and more repetitive. Every episode seemed to follow the same formula. Someone misunderstands something Jack says or does, they think he's involved in some crazy scheme, and he has to wiggle his way out of it through physical comedy. John Ritter was working overtime to keep the show funny, but the magic was gone. It had become a caricature of itself, running on fumes for its final few seasons. It was a classic case of a show that should have ended when its core trio broke up, but instead it stretched the premise until it snapped. Moving a character out of an apartment is one thing, but our next show took its two main characters and moved them clear across the country, leaving behind everything that made the series a hit in the first place. 3. Laverne and Shirley.
Think he can move that robbery plant? Anyone knows? Can't move a robbery plant, but he's got what, Laverne? A hernia.
A spin-off of Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley became a massive hit in its own right. Set in the same 1950s Milwaukee universe, the show followed the lives of two best friends and roommates, Laverne DeFazio and Shirley Feeney. They were working-class girls who bottled beer at the Schatz Brewery, and their lives were a hilarious mix of chasing their dreams, navigating friendships, and getting into wacky situations. The physical comedy between Penny Marshall as Laverne and Cindy Williams as Shirley was legendary. Along with their goofy upstairs neighbors, Lenny and Squiggy, the cast was a perfect comedic ensemble. For its first 5 seasons, it was one of the most watched shows in America. The show was grounded in its Milwaukee setting. The brewery, the apartment, the local diner, it all felt real and relatable. But after 5 seasons, the writers made a baffling decision. In a 2-part episode, Laverne and Shirley lose their brewery jobs and decide, on a whim, to pack up and move to Burbank, California, to try to make it in the movie business. Just like that, the entire premise of the show was gone. The Milwaukee setting, their jobs, their supporting cast of friends and family, all abandoned. Lenny and Squiggy conveniently moved to California too, but the heart of the show had been ripped out. The California seasons were a pale imitation of the original. The girls tried to find work as stunt women, gift wrappers, and other odd jobs. The plots felt forced and silly. And things got even worse. Cindy Williams left the show at the beginning of the 8th season, leaving Laverne all by herself. The network tried to keep it going with just Laverne and a cast of new characters, but it was pointless. The show had always been about the friendship between two women. Without Shirley, there was no show. It managed to last for one more season, but it was a sad, lonely end for a sitcom that was once the toast of television. It proved that you can't just change a show's entire DNA and expect it to survive. Some shows changed their setting, but our next one stayed in the same ritzy apartment for over a decade. The problem was, it told the same jokes for 11 seasons until it felt like a rerun of itself. 4. The Jeffersons Moving On Up.
Oh, George? Oh, come on, we're having too tired.
That iconic theme song perfectly captured the spirit of the Jeffersons. A spin-off of the groundbreaking sitcom All in the Family, the show followed George and Louise Jefferson as they moved from a working-class neighborhood in Queens to a deluxe apartment in the sky on Manhattan's East Side. George was a successful, opinionated, and often arrogant owner of a chain of dry-cleaning stores. Louise, or Wheezy as he called her, was his patient, level-headed wife who tried to keep his ego in check. The show was a huge hit, celebrated for its great characters, sharp humor, and for being one of the first shows to feature a successful and affluent black family. For years, the formula worked beautifully. The comedy came from George's clashes with his neighbors, the Willises, an interracial couple, and his constant battles with his sharp-tongued maid, Florence. The chemistry between Sherman Hemsley as George and Isabel Sanford as Louise was fantastic. The show had heart, wit, and a cast of memorable supporting characters. It ran for an incredible 11 seasons, becoming one of the longest-running sitcoms in American history. And truth be told, that was the problem. A show can't run for that long without becoming stale. After 7 or 8 seasons, the Jeffersons had simply run out of stories to tell. The plots became incredibly repetitive. How many times can George get a big head about his money and need to be taught a lesson in humility? How many times can he insult Mr. Willis or trade witty barbs with Florence? The show began to feel like it was on a loop. The character of George, once a complex and funny man, became more of a loud-mouthed caricature. The later seasons lacked the spark and originality of the early years. While it remained popular with its loyal audience, it was clear the creative well had run dry long before the network decided to finally cancel it, without even giving it a proper finale episode. While The Jeffersons grew repetitive, our next sitcom took a darker turn, becoming famous for tackling serious issues in a way that sometimes felt more like a lecture than a comedy. 5. Different Strokes.
Tell me, what do you think of today's market?
I think the price of tomatoes is too high.
The premise of Different Strokes was pure 80s gold. A wealthy white Manhattan widower named Philip Drummond adopts the 2 young black sons of his late housekeeper. The show followed Arnold and Willis Jackson as they adjusted to their new life of privilege, guided by their new father and his teenage daughter, Kimberly. At its heart, it was a sweet show about family, love, and bridging cultural divides. And it gave us one of television's most iconic catchphrases. "What you talking about, Willis?" The show was an instant smash hit, thanks in large part to the undeniable charm of its young star, Gary Coleman. For its first few seasons, Different Strokes was a classic, heartwarming family sitcom. The comedy came from the culture clash and the boys' innocent reactions to their new world. But as the 80s wore on, the show took a sharp turn. It became one of the pioneers of the very special episode. This is where a sitcom stops being funny for a week to teach the audience a lesson about a serious social issue. And Different Strokes tackled them all. There were episodes about substance use, child endangerment, eating disorders, and more. While the intentions were good, the execution was often heavy-handed and awkward, draining the comedy from the series. The show also struggled as its young stars grew up. The cute kid dynamic that made the show a hit was gone. The writers tried to keep things fresh by adding new characters, like a new wife for Mr. Drummond and her son, Sam. Sam was clearly brought in to be the new cute kid, but the magic wasn't there. By the later seasons, the show was a shell of its former self. The plots were getting more outlandish, and the very special episodes were becoming more frequent and preachy. The show had lost the joyful, innocent spirit that made it so beloved in the beginning. It hung on for 8 seasons, but the last few were a sad decline for a show that once had so much heart. Tackling serious issues is one thing, but our next show couldn't even decide who was in its main cast. Changing its lineup so many times, it felt like a completely different series every few years. 6. The Facts of Life.
I know a phony when I see one.
You should. You spend enough time looking in the mirror.
A phony when I see one.
6. The Facts of Life.
I know a phony when I see one.
She was
You
singing
should.
that.
You spend enough time looking in the mirror.
God
A
damn it.
spin-off of Different Strokes, The Facts of Life started with a huge cast. The show's original premise was that Mrs. Garrett, the Drummonds' housekeeper, takes a new job as the house mother at an all-girls boarding school. The first season featured a large ensemble cast of students, including a young Molly Ringwald. The show was messy and unfocused. So, for season 2, the producers made a drastic change. They got rid of most of the girls, keeping only 3. The wealthy and beautiful Blair, the funny and plus-sized Natalie, and the gossipy Tootie. They also added a new character, the tough motorcycle-riding Joe. This new, smaller cast was a brilliant move. The chemistry between the 4 girls and Mrs. Garrett was fantastic, and the show became a massive hit. For years, this formula was perfect. We watched the girls grow up, deal with wealthy and beautiful Blair, and unfocused school. The first season is a new job at
God damn it. Come on, you bucks, mate. You buck face. Move! 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 You goddamn buck face from China, buck face. Come on, buck face. Now buck up and take that pony. Come on, buck face. Come on, buck face. Yeah, come on, buck face. Come on, buck face. God damn, you suck my motherfucking dick, bitch. God, fuck it. God, fuck it. God damn it. Come on, fuckface. Come on, fuckface. Come on, fuckface. Come on, fuckface. Suck my dick, fuckface. Fuckface. Stupid! I fucked his hole! Fuckface. Kiss my dick. Kiss my dick. Kiss my dick. He's bringing out that whore. Where's my goddamn bishop? Suck my dick, bitch. Suck my dick, bitch. Yeah, fuck up and take that damn pawn, you slut. Cuz I think you done fucked up, son of a bitch. You know, what the fuck was I gonna do next? That's what I was gonna fucking do. Now fuck up and move this pawn on here. So a bitch. Come on, you fuckface. Come on, you fuckface, know-it-all fuckface. Suck my dick, bitch. Stupid! Stupid! Son of a bitch. Fuckface, goddamn, no, goddamn son of a... Stupid! Cause I was fucking stupid. Stupid! I fucked his hoe badly. Damn, I fucked his butt. Stupid! Stupid motherfucker. Stupid fucker. You absent-minded fucker. You absent-minded bitch. Stupid fucker. Come on, you absent-minded bitch. Let's get out of this shithole. You constant fucker. Start the goddamn game, you goddamn son of a goddamn bitch. Come Come on, you slut. I do. I do. I do. I don't want to play. I want to play. God, fucking Holy Ghost, damn it. Holy Ghost. Holy fucking Ghost. He's bringing out that goddamn whore. Holy Ghost. Holy Ghost. Suck my dick, bitch. Suck my dick, bitch. You suck my dick, bitch. Suck my dick, bitch. Now fuck up and overlook this, you slut. So I can hear your wreck, you motherfucker. You goddamn motherfucker. God damn it. Suck my dick, bitch. Suck my motherfucking dick, bitch. Suck my dick, bitch. You suck my dick, bitch. Suck my dick, bitch. Suck my dick, bitch. The fuck is this piece of shit? Suck my dick, bitch. You suck my dick, bitch. Suck my dick, bitch. You suck my dick, bitch. Suck my fucking dick. Bitch, suck my dick, bitch. Suck my dick, bitch. You suck my dick, bitch. Suck my dick. Suck my dick. Suck my dick, bitch. Suck my dick, bitch. You suck my dick, bitch. Move! Suck my dick, bitch. You suck my dick, bitch. Suck my slut. You suck my dick, bitch. You suck my fucking dick. No, you are not. You are not gonna. Don't even think about it, you slut. Fucking bitch. Suck my dick, bitch. God damn it. Suck my dick, bitch. Suck my dick, bitch. You suck my motherfucking dick, bitch. Suck my fucking dick, bitch. God damn it. Suck my dick, bitch. Suck my fucking dick. Suck my dick, bitch. Suck my dick, bitch. Suck my dick, bitch. Suck my dick. Suck my dick, bitch. Suck my dick, bitch. I fucked his hole. Suck my dick, bitch. You suck my dick, bitch. You suck my dick, bitch. You suck my dick, bitch. Suck my dick, bitch. You suck my dick, bitch. Suck my fucking dick. Suck my dick, bitch. Suck my dick, bitch. Suck my fucking dick. Suck my dick, bitch. Suck my dick, bitch. Suck my dick, bitch. Suck my dick, bitch. You suck my dick, bitch. Suck my dick, bitch. Suck my dick. Suck my dick, bitch. Suck my dick. Suck my dick, bitch. Suck my fucking dick, bitch. Suck my dick, bitch. Suck my... You suck my motherfucking dick, bitch. God fucking damn it. God, the holy fucking ghost. God damn it. God fucking damn it. Suck my holy ass dick. You suck my whore ass dick. Suck my dick, bitch. You suck my whore ass dick. Suck my whore ass dick. I just shit in my pants. You suck my whore ass dick. You suck my whore ass dick. Suck my whore ass dick. You suck my whore ass dick. Suck my whore ass dick. Suck my dick, bitch. You suck my dick, bitch. You suck my dick, bitch. You suck my dick, bitch. Suck my dick, bitch. Suck my fucking dick. Suck my fucking dick, you fucking bitch. Jesus fucking Christ in a fuck bucket of nut. Jesus fucking Christ. Christ or fuck. Christ a good goddamn buck. Christ or fuck. Christ or good goddamn buck. Christ or fuck. 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 God, fuck. God, fuck it. God, Christ or fuck.
As the house mother at an all-girls boarding school. The first season featured a large ensemble cast of students, including a young Molly Ringwald. The show was messy and unfocused. So, for season 2, the producers made a drastic change. They got rid of most of the girls, keeping only 3.
Give me a little extra
the wealthy
treat.
and beautiful Blair,
Give me a little extra
unfocused.
treat.
So, for season 2, the producers made a drastic change. They got rid of most of the girls, keeping only 3. The wealthy and beautiful Blair, the funny and plus-size Natalie,
give me a little
and the
extra
gossipy
treat, hold your arms
Tootie.
up like
They
that.
also added a new character. So, for season 2, the producers made a drastic change. They got rid of most of the girls, keeping only 3. The wealthy and beautiful Blair, the funny and plus-size Natalie, and the gossipy Tootie. They also added a new character, the tough motorcycle-riding Joe. This new, smaller cast was a brilliant move. The chemistry between the 4 girls and Mrs. Garrett was fantastic, and the show became a
Does she have a
massive
spit effect arm?
between the 4 girls and Mrs. Garrett was fantastic. And
Come, show me the goddamn spit
the chemistry
effect arm.
between the 4 girls and Mrs. Garrett was fantastic, and the show
God, bucket.
the chemistry between the 4 girls and Mrs. Garrett was fantastic. And
God, bucket.
the chemistry between the 4 girls and Mrs. Garrett was fantastic. And the show became a massive hit.
She had a half spit.
For years, this formula was perfect. We watched the girls grow up, deal with school, friendships, and family, all under the wise guidance of Mrs. Garrett. The show was funny, relatable, and full of heart. But then, the changes started happening again. First, the girls graduated, and the setting moved from the school to a gourmet food shop that they opened together called Edna's Edibles. This new setting was a bit strange, but the core cast was still intact. The real trouble started when Charlotte Rae, who played Mrs. Garrett, decided to leave the show. Losing the central mother figure was a devastating blow. The network replaced her with a new character, Mrs. Garrett's sister, played by Cloris Leachman. It just wasn't the same. Then they added a young boy to the cast, a foster kid named Andy, in an attempt to add some new energy. In the final season, the producers tried to set up a spin-off by introducing 2 new students for Blair to mentor. The show had completely lost its identity. It started as a show about a large group of girls, became a show about 4 specific friends, and ended as a strange mix of characters that didn't quite fit together. After 8 seasons, it was clear the facts of life had become far too complicated. Changing a cast is risky, but what about a show that was so good for so long that people still argue about whether it overstayed its welcome? Our next show lasted far longer than the event it was based on. 7. MASH?
This morning, while the rest of us were selfishly having a cup of coffee, he went off in a helicopter to do some field surgery. He jumped with his plasma, his bag.
Did she give me a little extra?
Everything an Army doctor needs. Except his parachute.
Let's be clear. MASH is one of the greatest television shows of all time. Set during the Korean War, it followed the doctors and nurses of the 4077 Mobile Army Surgical Hospital. It was brilliant, seamlessly blending laugh-out-loud comedy with heartbreaking drama. It explored the horrors of war and the bonds of friendship in a way no show had ever done before. The cast, led by Alan Alda as the brilliant but cynical surgeon Hawkeye Pierce, was perfect. The show won countless awards and is rightfully considered a masterpiece. But here's the thing. The Korean War lasted for 3 years. MASH was on the air for 11. The show's incredible length is a testament to its quality, but it also created a problem. The show evolved dramatically over its run. It started as a sharp, cynical comedy, much like the movie it was based on. But as the years went on, and especially after major cast changes like the departure of McLean Stevenson as Henry Blake and Wayne Rogers as Trapper John, the show became much more serious. Alan Alda took on a greater creative role, and the episodes started to feel more like weekly dramas with a few jokes sprinkled in, rather than the other way around. Some fans loved this evolution, seeing it as a sign of the show's maturity. But for others, the show lost something essential. The rebellious, anti-authority spirit of the early seasons was replaced with a more preachy, sentimental tone. Hawkeye went from a witty troublemaker to the moral conscience of the show, often delivering long speeches about the futility of war. By the final seasons, some felt the show had become a bit self-important, taking itself too seriously. The finale was a monumental television event, watched by over 100 million people. It was a beautiful and fitting end. But it's hard to argue that a show that ran for 8 years longer than the war depicted didn't stretch its premise to the absolute limit. MASH evolved, but it kept the same name. Our next sitcom changed so much that it literally had to change its title, becoming a spin-off of itself while still on the air. 8. All in the Family. Archie Bunker's Place.
Are you waiting for a special?
All in the Family. Archie Bunker's Place.
Are you waiting for a special invitation? I said breakfast is on the table.
That reminds me of Mrs. Taylor.
So did every moose up in Canada.
Is that how Miss Taylor looked? That's her. That's certainly how Miss Taylor spoke.
Are you waiting for a special invitation? I said breakfast is on the table.
I heard you. So did every moose up in Canada.
All in the Family changed television forever. It introduced us to Archie Bunker, the lovable bigot from Queens, and his family. His sweet but simple-minded wife, Edith, his progressive daughter, Gloria, and her liberal husband, Mike, who Archie called Meathead. The show was a cultural earthquake, tackling controversial topics with humor and honesty. The brilliant writing and perfect cast made it the #1 show in America for 5 straight years. It was a show that was both hilarious and important. The classic lineup was lightning in a bottle,
stupid,
The first sign of trouble came when Gloria and Mike, played by Sally Struthers and Rob Reiner, left the show. They were given their own spin-off, and their absence left a huge void. The writers tried to fill the hole by having Archie and Edith adopt Edith's young niece, Stephanie. The dynamic was completely different and not nearly as compelling. The show was still popular, but it wasn't the same powerhouse it used to be. The biggest change, however, came after the 9th season. The network wanted to keep the show going, but Jean Stapleton, who played Edith, wanted to reduce her role. So they did something unprecedented. They retitled the show Archie Bunker's Place. The new series was set in the neighborhood bar that Archie had purchased. Edith appeared in only a few episodes of the new version before her character passed away off-screen. This new show was a much more somber, less funny affair. It focused on Archie's relationship with Stephanie and the patrons of his bar. While it was still successful for a time, it was a completely different show. It was a long, slow decline from the groundbreaking genius of All in the Family into a more standard, sentimental sitcom that hung on for 4 more seasons. Some shows change their cast, while others are built on a central question that they refuse to answer. Our next sitcom teased a romance for so long that when it finally happened, nobody cared. 9. Who's the Boss?
Sweetheart, there are all kinds of love. There's the way you love your family.
And the way you love your snake.
And the way you love your housekeeper.
The premise of Who's the Boss was a perfect 80s culture clash. Tony Michelli, a retired baseball player and widower from Brooklyn, takes a job as a live-in housekeeper for a high-powered advertising executive and single mother named Angela Bauer in upscale Connecticut. Tony brought his street-smart daughter Samantha, and Angela had her shy, nerdy son, Jonathan. The show was charming, funny, and built on one central question. Will Tony and Angela ever get together? The chemistry between Tony Danza and Judith Light was electric, and the will they won't they dynamic was the heart of the show. For the first few seasons, this tension was captivating. Audiences tuned in every week to watch the near misses, the heartfelt conversations, and the slow burn of their romance. The show was a ratings giant. We watched the kids grow up, and the family dynamic between the 4 of them was genuinely heartwarming. Angela's witty and man-hungry mother, Mona, was another highlight, always ready with a sarcastic comment. The problem was, the writers kept teasing the romance for year after year after year. They dragged it out for 7 full seasons. By the time Tony and Angela finally admitted their feelings for each other and became a couple in season 8, the audience was exhausted. The tension that had driven the show for so long was suddenly gone, and the writers didn't seem to know what to do next. The final season was a mess of them trying to navigate their new relationship, breaking up, and teasing a reunion. The kids were grown up and mostly off the show. The magic was gone. The show had spent so long building up to the big moment that it had no idea how to exist after it happened. It's a prime example of a show that milked its central premise for every drop, long after it had run dry. Keeping a couple apart for too long is one thing, but what about a show that loses its main character and then tries to pretend everything is fine? Our next sitcom found out the hard way that you can't have a show without its star. 10. Welcome back.
Stupid.
You know what you are? You're bad. Just because my jokes aren't funny and they don't make people laugh. You're bad. You're bad. Bad.
Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. That theme song kicked off.
Wow, she's got some spit
Welcome
arms
back.
With spit.
Your dreams
with spit
were your
spit.
Ticket out.
I wish I spit.
That theme song kicked off one of the hottest Your dreams were your ticket out. That theme song kicked off one of the hottest sitcoms of the 70s. Welcome Back. Cotter was about Gabe Cotter, a teacher who returns to his old high school in Brooklyn to teach a remedial class of wisecracking underachievers known as the Sweat Hogs. The Sweat Hogs were the heart of the show, a lovable group of characters including the group's leader, Vinnie Barbarino, the official sweat hog Freddie Boom Boom Washington, the goofy Arnold Horshack, and the street-smart Juan Epstein. The show was a massive hit, especially with younger audiences, and it turned its young cast, particularly John Travolta as Barbarino, into superstars. The classroom scenes were full of energy, with Cotter trying to connect with his students through humor and understanding. The chemistry between Cotter and the Sweat Hogs was perfect. But the show's massive success became its biggest problem. John Travolta's movie career exploded with hits like Saturday Night Fever and Grease. He was suddenly one of the biggest stars in the world, and he had little time for a weekly sitcom. In the 4th season, his role as Vinnie Barbarino was drastically reduced. He appeared in only a handful of episodes. Losing its biggest star was a huge blow. But then, things got worse. Gabe Kaplan, the star of the show, also got into a contract dispute with the producers, and his role was also cut back. Suddenly, a show called Welcome Back Cotter barely featured Cotter. The focus shifted to the remaining Sweat Hogs and Cotter's wife, Julie. They even tried to introduce a new Sweat Hog named Bo to fill the void, but it didn't work.
Spit.
The fourth and final season was a bizarre
that
fill
girl's
the
got some
void,
spit
but
arms.
it didn't work.
With spit smell.
The fourth and final season named Bo to fill the void, but they even tried to introduce a new Sweat Hog named Bo to fill the void, but it didn't work.
With Spitster.
The fourth and final
You are not gonna ear my work, you slut. Slat-eyed slut from China.
Hog named Bo to fill the void, but it didn't work.
With Spitster. Spit, bit.
Tried to introduce a new Sweat Hog named Bo to fill the void, but it didn't work. The fourth and final season was a bizarre, disjointed mess. It was a show that had lost its two most important characters and was trying to survive on leftover parts. It was a sad end to a show that had burned so brightly and so quickly. Losing a star is bad, but our next show made a change so strange in its second season that it's still talked about as one of the worst retooling decisions in TV history. 11th, Mork and Mindy.
Oh, well, it's just another side of love, Mork. Like a father's love for his daughter. He sacrificed...
Well, I know that. I read Lolita.
Spit.
Nanu Nanu. When Mork and Mindy premiered, it was an absolute sensation. A spin-off from an episode of Happy Days, the show starred the incomparable Robin Williams as Mork, a quirky alien from the planet Orc who comes to Earth in an egg-shaped spaceship. He befriends a kind young woman named Mindy in an egg-shaped spaceship. He befriends a kind young woman named Mindy McConnell. When Mork and Mindy premiered, it was an absolute sensation. A spin-off from an episode of Happy Days, the show starred the incomparable Robin Williams as Mork, a quirky alien from the planet Orc who comes to Earth in an egg-shaped spaceship. He befriends a kind young woman named Mindy McConnell. When Mork and Mindy premiered, it was an absolute sensation. A spin-off from an episode of Happy Days, the show starred the incomparable Robin Williams as Mork, a quirky alien from the planet Orc who comes to Earth in an egg-shaped spaceship. He befriends a kind young woman named Mindy McConnell, who lets him live in her attic. The show was a perfect vehicle for Robin Williams' manic, improvisational genius. He was a force of nature, and audiences couldn't get enough of his bizarre alien customs and childlike wonder. The show shot to the top of the ratings, making Williams a household name overnight. The first season was magical. It was a simple, funny, and sweet show about the friendship between a human and an alien.
Move, you whore!
The plots were often just simple excuses to let Robin Williams be Robin Williams. But at the end of the first season, network executives got nervous. They worried that the show's audience was too young and that the novelty would wear off. So for season 2, they made a series of catastrophic changes. They got rid of several popular supporting characters, including Mindy's dad and grandmother.
God damn it.
They tried to shift the focus from the silly comedy to more relevant social satire. They even brought in a new character, a grumpy neighbor named Mr. Bickley, to be a foil for Mork. The result was a disaster. The new tone was awkward and preachy. The show had lost its joyful, chaotic spirit. The ratings plummeted. The executives realized their mistake and tried to undo the damage in season 3, bringing back some of the original charm. But the damage was done. The show limped on for 2 more seasons, even getting so desperate as to have Mork and Mindy get married and have a baby who aged backwards. It was a series of bizarre gimmicks designed to recapture the magic that the network itself had destroyed. It remains a cautionary tale of what happens when executives try to fix something that isn't broken. Getting married is one way to change a show, but our next entry made a change so absurdly out of character in its final season that it retroactively ruined the entire series for many fans. 12. Roseanne.
Oh, I'm right where I belong. Living on
sucks.
Failure Street, 2 blocks south of Pathetic.
That fat
My
whore.
zip code? All zeros.
For 8 seasons, Roseanne was a groundbreaking and beloved sitcom. It was one of the first shows to portray a realistic, blue-collar American family. The Connors weren't rich or glamorous. They were struggling to pay the bills, raise their kids, and find humor in their everyday lives. Roseanne and Dan Connor were one of the most relatable couples on television, and the show's sharp, honest writing about money, family, and work resonated with millions of viewers. It was funny, smart, and unflinchingly real. It was consistently one of the highest-rated shows on television. The show was a masterclass in long-form storytelling. We watched the kids grow up, saw the family deal with job losses, and shared in their small victories. But then came Season 9. In the first episode of the final season, the Connor family wins the state lottery. They win over $100 million. This single plot twist completely destroyed the entire foundation of the show. Suddenly, the family that was famous for being relatable and struggling was unimaginably wealthy. The show abandoned all pretense of realism and became a bizarre fantasy. The final season was surreal. Roseanne imagined herself in spoofs of other movies and TV shows. The family hobnobbed with the rich and famous. The smart, grounded humor was replaced with outlandish, cartoonish scenarios that felt like they belonged on a different show entirely. It was a slap in the face to the fans who had invested in this family's realistic struggles for 8 years. In the series finale, it was revealed that the entire 9th season was just a story Roseanne had written to cope with her life. In reality, Dan had passed away from a heart attack at the end of Season 8. This final twist was even more jarring and controversial, leaving a bitter taste for many viewers. It was a classic example of a show that should have ended a year earlier, before a single, terrible idea erased its legacy. Winning the lottery is a wild twist, but our next show relied on a quieter, but just as desperate, move, adding a cute new kid when the original kids were no longer cute. 13. Growing Pains. No longer cute. 13. Growing Pains.
Ben, you're supposed to be in bed by 9 o'clock. I was. Nobody said anything about how I'm going to stay there.
Growing Pains was a staple of 80s family television. It centered on the Seaver family. Dr. Jason Seaver moves his psychiatry practice into his home so his wife Maggie can go back to her career as a journalist. This left Jason to be the primary caregiver for their 3 kids: the troublemaking but charming Mike, the brainy Carol, and the rambunctious Ben. The show was a hit, offering a wholesome and funny look at suburban family life. The cast had great chemistry, and the storylines were relatable for families across America. For several seasons, the show was a reliable performer. We watched the kids navigate school, dating, and sibling rivalries. The show's popularity even skyrocketed when Kirk Cameron, who played Mike, became a major teen heartthrob. In Season 4, the writers added a new baby to the family, Chrissy. This is a classic sitcom move to freshen things up, and it worked for a while. But as the show entered its later years, the original kids were growing up and heading towards college. The Growing Pains premise was starting to fade. The show was clearly running out of steam. So, in its 7th and final season, the producers made a desperate move. They introduced a new character, a homeless teenager named Luke Brower, played by a very young Leonardo DiCaprio. Luke moves in with the Seaver family. This was a classic case of what is sometimes called Cousin Oliver syndrome, bringing in a new, younger character to try to liven up an aging show. While DiCaprio was a talented young actor, the addition felt forced. It was a clear sign that the show's original dynamic was gone, liven up an aging show. While DiCaprio was a talented young actor, the addition felt forced. It was a clear sign that the show's original dynamic was gone, and the writers were grasping at straws. The final season felt tired, a show going through the motions long after its prime.
God, fuck it. God, fuck it. Suck my slut! Now fuck up and overlook this so I can Donkey Kong the fuck out of your nights.
There's no such thing as a good Christian. And
no, shit, fucking
this isn't
monkey.
me being provocative. This isn't me being doctrinally sound.
Monkey.
I'm not attacking anyone's character. I'm quoting the doctrine. Because according to the red letters in your own Bible, Jesus himself said, "Why do you call me good? No one is good but God alone." That's not atheism.
Suck my slut.
So let's get this straight. If Jesus didn't even call himself good, what does that say about the millions of people walking around calling themselves good Christians? According to the Bible, they don't exist. Not because people can't do good things, but because the theology requires you to believe you're broken, sinful, and incapable of true goodness on your own. That's not just bad psychology, that's baked in self-contempt disguised as humility. And it's one of the most overlooked obstacles in deconstruction. Because when your goodness has always depended on your brokenness, letting go of the belief feels like letting go of your only shot at redemption. But what if you never needed to be saved from being human in the first place? So let's start where most Christians claim to build their lives. The words of Jesus. Not Paul, not Augustine, not your pastor, Jesus. Because if we're being honest about what the red letters actually say, then this entire conversation changes. We must understand that Jesus said this first. In the book of Mark, he says, "Why do you call me good?" Jesus answered, "No one is good except God alone." That's chapter 10, verse 18, reading from the New International Standard Version. Now let that sit for a moment. Jesus, the central figure of Christianity, the supposed moral exemplar, the one Christians are supposed to imitate, refused to accept the label good. And he wasn't being modest, he was making a theological statement. Goodness belongs to God alone. That's not just humility, that's exclusivity. It draws a hard line between God and everyone else, even himself in human form. So let's follow the logic here. If Jesus doesn't get to be called good, then nobody else gets to either. That includes you. That includes every Christian who thinks their belief makes them a better person. But how are you better if you can't even be good? And suddenly, the entire Christian identity gets exposed for what it really is. Not a celebration of goodness, but a declaration of insufficiency. This isn't a religion that tells you you can be good. It tells you you are not good and never will be unless you admit that and surrender to the one who is. That's the core deal. You're broken by default. You're dependent by design. Your best traits are worthless unless they're baptized in divine approval. According to Jesus, there's no such thing as a good Christian, only a forgiven one. So if Jesus sets the precedent by rejecting the title good, then Paul, his self-appointed apostle, cements it as doctrine. And he doesn't hold back. Paul confirms the self-loathing.
Fuck.
He says, "I know that good itself does not dwell in me. That is, in my sinful nature. For I have the desire to do what is good, but I cannot carry it out." This is in the book of Romans chapter 7, verse 18. Reading again from the New International Version. This isn't just theological honesty. It's psychological despair. Paul isn't saying, "I mess up sometimes." He's saying, "There's nothing good in me at all." That's not guilt. That's self-deprecation. He's declaring that goodness cannot even dwell within him, that his very nature is incompatible with goodness.
Move, you whore.
This is textbook anthrodenialism, the belief that
move,
being
you whore,
means being inherently corrupt. And it's not a side doctrine. It's the foundation of Christian salvation. You must first see yourself as unworthy to believe you need saving. And once you accept that premise, guilt becomes sacred. That's why so many Christians cling to guilt like the deer pants after the water, because the entire system is built on sustaining a problem that only God is allowed to fix. You can't graduate from it. You can't outgrow it. You're not allowed to heal so fully that you no longer need the cross anymore. That's not humility. That's a religiously induced identity crisis. You're told that any confidence in your own goodness is pride, and any attempt to fix yourself is rebellion. So instead of growing, you stay small. You doubt yourself. You shrink. You come back to the altar week after week, repenting not just for what you've done, but for who you are. Christianity doesn't just teach that you've done bad things. It teaches that you are bad by default. And that belief is the lock that keeps the door to deconstruction closed. So let's be clear. If you're told that goodness can't live in you, then what exactly are you supposed to do with that? How do you live, think, or behave under a system that tells you you always fall short? Simple. You keep falling, and they keep calling it grace, which ultimately leads to sinning on purpose to stay saved. Here's where it gets dangerous, because once a person is conditioned to believe that they are broken beyond repair, they stop aiming for real healing and start seeking emotional reinforcement. The person needs to feel the need for salvation in order to emotionally reinforce their relationship with the Savior. That's the play. And it creates a brutal psychological feedback loop. Believe you are bad, try to be good. Fail because you were told that you would. Sin again, feel guilty, repent, and with each cycle, your dependency on Jesus deepens more and more. Not because you're growing, but because you're drowning, and he's the only hand you've been told can pull you up. This isn't spiritual growth. This is learned helplessness, rebranded as discipleship. It's a theology that encourages moral inconsistency because failing keeps you tethered to grace. It keeps you stuck in shame instead of guided by truth, and makes guilt a virtue and personal growth a threat. Because the moment you start believing in your own capacity for goodness, you stop needing their gospel. And that's the real danger to them. As long as you're convinced you're broken, then they stay in business.
Stupid motherfucker.
You're not being taught how to live well. You're being taught how to relapse in ways that keep you emotionally hooked. This is why so many believers feel stuck, doing things they hate just to feel bad enough to justify coming back to the cross. It's not freedom. It's a treadmill of guilt disguised as redemption. So the cycle keeps spinning, not because people don't want to break free, but because they're afraid of what breaking free might force them to face. So let's talk about why this is a deconversion barrier.
He is a monkey.
For many, letting go means confronting a lot of the bad stuff they did in his name without an altar to lay it down on. That right there, that's what keeps a lot of good Christians bound. Not doctrine, not theology, shame. Because deep down, many Christians aren't staying because of belief. They're staying because of fear. Fear of owning their past. Fear of facing the harm they caused. Fear of losing the emotional loophole that let them lay it all on Jesus. Leaving the faith doesn't just mean changing your mind about God. It means surrendering your scapegoat. And that's terrifying. Because if Jesus doesn't carry the blame anymore, then you have to carry the responsibility. And that's what most people aren't ready for. It's not that they think they can't be good without God. It's that they're afraid to face who they were with him. Because what happens when you realize that the pain you caused, the people you judged, the words you weaponized, the guilt you passed on to your children, was done not in spite of your faith,
now fuck up the king right here.
That's a reckoning. And when there's no altar to lay it all on, you're left with only two choices. avoid it, or own it. And most people, understandably, are not ready for that level of honesty.
Come on, you
But here's
slut.
the truth. Growth doesn't come from pretending the altar still works. It comes from learning how to build something better in its place. So what do we do with all of this? With the guilt? With the baggage? With the memory of who we were when we still believed? We stop laying it on the altars. Because the truth is, there's no divine being absorbing our wrongs. There's just us learning how to live with what we've done and who we're becoming. And maybe that sounds heavy, but it's also liberating. We don't need an altar to lay it down. We need a bridge to walk across. A bridge to accountability instead of confession. Growth instead of guilt. And human connection instead of divine dependency. You don't need to be broken to belong. You don't need to perform pain to earn love. You don't need to stay stuck in a loop of sin and shame to prove your need for grace. We should be done laying our excuses on altars and ready to build bridges to better. No altar needed, no sacrifice required, just courage, accountability, and progress.
You suck my dick, bitch.
And if that's what you're looking for, you don't need a savior. You need a community. You need truth. You need healing. And you need a way forward that doesn't require you to keep hurting just to stay saved. And that's not rebellion, my friends.
Suck my dick.
That's evolution. If you're enjoying the content, consider joining the conversation in our Discord. Or joining the community by enrolling in BC 101, How We Change the World. It's a free course that lets you get to know more about Brick City. And you can join the movement by signing up for weekly updates from our email list. And if you're in Southern California, there's a local part of this movement unfolding there right now, so make sure to tap in using the link in the description.
Dick sucker.
And if you're looking for a way to financially support this growing movement, consider becoming a patron for additional perks and benefits or shopping in Window Shop. Well, that's all the time I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me in this conversation, and until next time, keep rising.
Suck my dick, bitch. Suck my dick, bitch. Suck my dick, bitch. You suck my dick, bitch. You suck my dick, bitch. You suck my dick, bitch. Suck my dick, bitch. You suck my dick, bitch. Suck my dick, bitch. Suck my dick, bitch. Bitch, suck my dick, bitch. Suck my dick, bitch. Suck my dick, bitch. Suck my dick, bitch. Suck my motherfucking dick, bitch. Suck my dick, bitch. You suck my dick, bitch. Suck my slut. Suck my dick, bitch. Suck my dick, bitch. Suck my dick, bitch. Suck my motherfucking dick, bitch. Suck my dick, bitch. Cause you just fucked up. You stupid motherfucker. You just fucked up, you stupid motherfucker. You stupid fucker. Suck my fucking dick. Suck my dick, bitch. Suck my fucking dick. Suck my fucking dick. Man, this is gonna fucking piss me off. God damn it. Now fuck up and move right here. Suck my dick, bitch. Suck my dick, bitch. I want to go no goddamn still, mate. Suck my... God damn it. Jesus fucking Christ. Jesus fucking Christ. Christ or fuck. 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 Last game is my last game. Christ or fuck. Christ or fuck. Christ or fuck. Christ or fuck. Now fuck up and move that whore right here. Man, did I fuck up or what? Christ King fuck. Now fucking remove that whore right here. Son of a fuck. We've been patty cakes all fucking night long, you son of a bitch. Crushed her fuck. Crushed her fuck. God damn it. God fucking damn it. Son of a bitch. Come on, you fucking son of a bitch. Come on, you fucking son of a bitch. God damn it. You stupid motherfucker. Come on, you stupid fucker. God damn it. God damn it. Jesus, goddamn, fucking, goddamn, cunt, goddamn Christ, goddamn, Christ, God fucking damn, God cunt fucking damn, God damn. God fucking damn it. Come on, you fucking slut. Jesus goddamn fucking Christ. Stupid, you stupid fucker. You absent-minded bitch. You fucking goddamn absent-minded goddamn motherfucking bitch. Fucking slut, slut from fucking hell, fucking son of a bitch. Suck my slut. Suck my goddamn motherfucking goddamn slut. Goddamn motherfucker. Suck my dick, bitch. Suck my fucking dick. Suck my dick, bitch. I'm fucking you up. I just eared your rook. Like cutting off your right ear. No, like cutting off your left ear. Slant-eyed whore. He's about to get himself another whore. Stupid motherfucker. Stupid fucker. Come on, you goddamn motherfucker. Come on, you goddamn motherfucker. Come on, you goddamn motherfucker. Come on, you goddamn. Suck my dick, bitch. Dumbass. Now I'm coming after that damn night and I fucked his home. I badly fucked you up. You talking about an ass fucking from hell? I fucked his ass. I fucked his ass like he has never been fucked in the ass before. I fucked his ass. Oh my God. Yeah, you could have fucked me up. All you had to do is, yeah, you could have fucked my ass, but you fucked up and didn't fuck my ass, but you fucked up instead. Instead of fucking my ass, you fucked up. Suck my motherfucking goddamn slut from China. Suck my slut. Goddamn motherfucker. You goddamn son of a goddamn bitch. God damn it. God damn it. Suck my dick, bitch. Suck my dick. Suck my motherfucking dick, bitch. Suck my motherfucking slut. The fuck is this dickhole trying to do? Suck my dick, bitch. God damn it. Suck my dick, bitch. God damn it. Suck my dick, bitch. Suck my dick. Suck my motherfucking dick, bitch. You suck my dick. Suck my dick, bitch. Suck my fucking dick. Suck my dick, bitch. You suck. You suck my dick, bitch. Suck my dick, bitch. Suck my goddamn motherfucking dick, bitch. You goddamn son of a goddamn bitch. God damn it. God fucking damn it. God fuck it. God fuck it. Let me start my goddamn tea. God fuck it. I had acquired the habit of swearing profusely. I just shit in my pants. I just shit in my pants. Did you hear me? I said I just shit in my pants. I'm about to shake your shit in a minute, hopefully. Or else I'm gonna shit in my pants. Or else I'm gonna shit in my goddamn pants. You don't want me to shit in my goddamn pants, do you? Well, let me go take a fucking shit, you goddamn son of a goddamn bitch. God, fuck it. God damn it. God damn it. And this is really fucking pissing me off. Fucking shit pisses me the fuck off. I mean, God fucking damn, goddamn, goddamn, goddamn. God damn it. God damn it. Well, good, I'm glad. I'm gonna have to take a shit real soon. Gonna have to shit the North 40, all that fucking fat I've eaten. I'm gonna have to shit. Move your shit, you move your shit, bird. Move your goddamn fucking shit, bird. God damn it. I gotta fuck up the... Let me get my goddamn tea. Now all they need to do is let out a brick of shit in the shape of a swamp. Oh, you goddamn son of a bitch. God damn it. Jesus goddamn fucking Christ. Cuz you just fucked up big time. You fucked up. You, my dear sir, just fucked up. You, my dear sir, just fucked up. God damn it. You, my dear sir, have just fucked up. You stupid fucking slut, son of a fucking slut bitch. You stupid son of a bitch. You, my dear sir, have just fucked up. You could have put heat in my ass. You absent-minded bitch. You absent-minded... Cuz you just fucked up. You absent-minded bitch. I'm fixing to stick my dick in your butt and take a shit. You stupid fucker. I fuck his hole! Stupid fucker. I fucked you up. I fucked your hole! Stupid fucker. Suck my slut. Goddamn son of a goddamn bitch. Now fuck up and overlook this. God damn it. God fucking damn it. Come on, you goddamn son of a goddamn bitch. Come on, you goddamn motherfucker. Come on, you goddamn motherfucker. You goddamn son of a goddamn bitch, you goddamn motherfucker. Come on, you goddamn son of a bitch. Goddamn motherfucker. Come on, you goddamn motherfucker. You goddamn motherfucker. You goddamn motherfucker. Motherfucker. Come on, you goddamn motherfucker. God damn. That's this goddamn fucking goddamn son of a goddamn bitch. Suck my goddamn dick.
Did you ever wish you could write one of those killer choruses that grabs an audience by the earballs and sticks on their heads until they have to get it surgically removed? Well, stick around because we're getting into it. Writing a great melody is hard, and we're going to talk more about that at the end of the video. But there's more than just writing a great melody. We have to know how to treat those melodies. And what if I told you even the strongest hooks are really delicate? And if we don't know how to treat them properly, we can easily ruin them. But if we get these two things right, we can set up a choruses that have some real impact. Have a listen to this and see if you can hear what I'm talking about. Slip inside the eye of your mind. To make an explosive chorus, the first thing we need is something capable of making that explosion. So we want to look at the overall dynamic range of our melodies. And in both these examples we can see the highest note that comes in any section before the chorus is 3 scale degrees lower than the first note of the chorus. But there's more, because not all songs are the same, right? Well, let's look at 2 songs that don't do this. In both of these songs, the highest note before the chorus is only 1 scale degree lower than the first note of the chorus. But with these songs, the first note of the chorus isn't the highest note, and if we look at the highest note in the chorus, is 3 scale degrees above the highest note before the chorus. So, an ideal charge for an explosive melody is to keep the highest note before the chorus 3 to 4 scale degrees below the highest note in the chorus. But we're only scratching the surface here because a charge is worthless without a detonator. Check this out.
I have no goddamn clue what this goddamn motherfucker's trying to goddamn say. God damn.
So, in this slightly forced analogy, this interval is what I'm calling the detonator. It's the interval from the last note just before the chorus to the first note of the chorus. In all these songs, the last note before the chorus is 8 scale degrees below the first note of the chorus. That's 8 scale degrees, and this is what really makes the chorus explode. But there is some leeway with this. In Umbrella, that leap is 6 scale degrees lower than the first note of the chorus. So an ideal detonator to pair with our charge is keep the last note just before the chorus 6 to 8 scale degrees below the first note of the chorus. But none of that matters unless you have a great melody to begin with. So check out this video next and I'll show you a foolproof way to write catchy original melodies.
Come on, you slut. Suck my goddamn motherfucking slut.
Did you ever wish you could write one of those killer choruses that grabs an audience by the earballs and sticks in their heads until they have to get it surgically removed? Well, stick around because we're getting into it. Writing a great melody is hard, and we're going to talk more about that at the end of the video. But there's more than just writing a great melody. We have to know how to treat those melodies. And what if I told you even the strongest hooks are really delicate? And if we don't know how to treat them properly, we can easily ruin them. But if we get these two things right, we can set up a choruses that have some real impact. Have a listen to this and see if you can hear what I'm talking about.
God damn it.
To make an explosive chorus, the first thing we need is something capable of... To make an explosive chorus, the first thing we need is something capable of making that explosion. So we want to look at the overall dynamic range of our melody. And in both these examples we can see the highest note that comes in any section before the chorus is 3 scale degrees lower than the first note of the chorus. But there's more, because not all songs are the same, right? Well, let's look at 2 songs that don't do this. In both of these songs, the highest note before the chorus is only 1 scale degree lower than the first note of the chorus. But with these songs, the first note of the chorus isn't the highest note, and if we look at the highest note in the chorus... is 3 scale degrees above the highest note before the chorus. So, an ideal charge for an explosive melody is to keep the highest note before the chorus 3 to 4 scale degrees below the highest note in the chorus. But we're only scratching the surface here because a charge is worthless without a detonator. Check this out. So, in this slightly forced analogy, this interval is what I'm calling the detonator. It's the interval from the last note just before the chorus to the first note of the chorus. In all these songs, the last note before the chorus is 8 scale degrees below the first note of the chorus. That's 8 scale degrees, and this is what really makes the chorus explode. But there is some leeway with this. An umbrella is 6 scale degrees lower than the first note of the chorus. So an ideal detonator to pair with our charge is keep the last note just before the chorus 6 to 8 scale degrees below the first note of the chorus. But none of that matters unless you have a great melody to begin with. So check out this video next and I'll show you a foolproof way to write catchy original melodies.
Come on, you son of a bitch. Come on, you son of a goddamn motherfucking bitch. You son of a fucking bitch. You goddamn son of a goddamn bitch. God damn it, motherfucker. Come on, you motherfucker. You motherfucker. With spit. Spit, 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 spit.
Here's the thing.
We've all heard choruses.
We know what they sound like.
But as songwriters, when it comes time to actually sit down and write that incredible chorus that you're imagining in your mind, it's very common to find that our tastes and our ears are actually more sophisticated than our abilities.
There is really one major trap that a lot of beginner songwriters fall into when writing their choruses, and we've all done it.
So in this video, what we're going to do is tell you what a chorus isn't, tell you what a chorus is and what it's meant to do. We're also going to give you 3 really practical tips. 1 lyric, 1 melody, and 1 chord tip that are all going to help you write better choruses faster.
And if you're someone who's a little more experienced and have written a few songs, we've got a little bonus tip at the end that you might be interested in trying.
So, let's talk about what a chorus isn't. And what I want to do is tell you a story from my own beginnings as a songwriter that Benny was involved in. Benny and I have been musical collaborators for almost 20 years, which is shocking. So at the very, very beginning, we were rehearsing for my very first album launch. And we were in a band together, there were other musicians, an incredible band, and I remember rehearsing this one song of mine. And we got to the chorus, and I remember thinking of some arranging ideas, and I turned to Benny and I said, "Hey Benny, do you think you could play a little bit more slide guitar on the chorus?" And what did you say?
I said, yeah, that'd be great, sure. Which bit's the chorus?
And I thought, in my mind, what the hell do you mean, which bit's the chorus? It's the bit where the lyrics repeat. What I have learned over 20 years since that time, being a professional songwriter as well as teaching many thousands of other songwriters to write better songs, is fundamentally an understanding about what a chorus actually is and what it is not. And it turns out that a chorus is not just the bit where the lyrics repeat. A chorus is also not just the bit where you kind of sing louder.
And there is an instinct there when you're crafting a song to take a bit of lyric that is repeating and go, well, that feels like it could be the chorus, and just let it be the chorus. And this really undervalues what the chorus is there to do in your song.
And this is really the trap that we're talking about. Because a chorus is not a chorus because you repeat a section. You repeat a section because it's the chorus. And this is a fundamental difference that is really important about what a chorus actually is at its essence, what it is actually doing inside the song that is different to all the other sections.
So if that's what a chorus isn't, if it's not just the part where the lyrics repeat, if it's not just the part that you feel like it could be a chorus, what is the chorus? What is it there to do?
A chorus is the central expression of the core idea, the central emotion, the central image or metaphor that expresses the singular idea that is the beating heart of your song.
Oh, that's a lot.
It is a lot. It's a big deal. Okay? And another way to think about this that has been transformative for me in thinking about this stuff and learning how to really approach the craft of writing a great chorus is to think about the chorus as the response to the problem of the song. So often what we'll do is we'll use the verses and the sort of expository sections, the sections that develop the idea and take things further and deeper. We use those to expose the essential problem, tension or conflict that is driving our need to write a song in the first place. And when we think of a song like that, the chorus is where we get to express the response to the problem.
But it's important to understand response doesn't mean answer. We're not setting up a question we need to answer in the chorus. It's a different kind of relationship. And there are many, many different ways we might respond to a problem.
For example, an appropriate response to a problem might actually be a question. And we can see this in songs like What's Love Got to Do With It by Tina Turner and Where Is My Mind by the Pixies.
Another type of response might be an action or a decision that you're going to make. And we hear this in the song Chandelier, where she sings, I'm going to swing from the chandelier. You hear it with Jason Mraz's song I'm Yours, and Bridge Over Troubled Water by Simon & Garfunkel.
Another kind of response might be an insight or a realization that you have. And a really good example of this is the song Royals by Lorde. And if we look at the lyrics in the chorus in this case, one of the things that you could imagine is that she's thinking in her mind, and so I realized we'll never be royals. So this kind of chorus is one where you realize something, and the chorus is the expression of that realization or insight.
The response might be in the form of a piece of advice, and often framed in the command or imperative voice. Think of Let It Be by the Beatles, Three Little Birds by Bob Marley and the Wailers, or more recently, Put Your Records On by Corinne Bailey Rae.
Another type of response to a problem can sometimes be an expression of the peak emotion, and a good way to think of this is like what most needs to be said, the most honest, direct expression of something that you really need to tell someone. Some examples of this are You've Got a Friend by Carole King, Beautiful by Christina Aguilera, Locked Out of Heaven by Bruno Mars.
And a slightly more abstract version of this, but still a response to a problem, is when we have a central metaphor or image that expresses the core idea. Think of The River by Bruce Springsteen, Rocket Science by Laurie McKenna, or Slow Cooker by John Legend.
If we continue to fall into the trap of approaching the writing of the chorus by simply picking a section and repeating it because it feels like it's worthy of repeating, it's almost like throwing darts blindfolded. We're kind of doing the action of chorus writing, but we're entirely missing the target, which is to say, we're missing the point of what a chorus is. It's not just about throwing darts, which is to say it's not just about repeating a section. It's really important to understand what it is that we are shooting for. All of these different kinds of responses to the problem are really the emotion that is underneath whatever the story, situation, experience or idea is that we're exploring in the rest of the song. And something that we've got for you is an entire free PDF that you can download. It's a series of writing prompts and questions that are all really designed. Story, situation, experience, or ideas that we're exploring in the rest of the song. And something that we've got for you is an entire free PDF that you can download. It's a series of writing prompts and questions that are all really designed to cut to the core. So as you're exploring a song idea through lyrics, through storytelling, it can be really useful to just stop for 10 or 20 minutes and go through this series of chorus writing prompts that's going to help you identify what it is that is underneath all of this other stuff.
And so if we're thinking of this dartboard analogy and looking at that target right in the middle, what sits in that target is what we can think of as the title. And when we say title, we don't mean what you end up calling the song. It really is this short phrase that sums up everything this song is about. It's the thing that when people hear, they walk away repeating that thing in their head over and over. And I know it feels like we're labouring this point a little bit, that you really have to have this target that you're aiming for, that your song really is about defining this one thing that the song is actually about, and that title phrase represents that thing. But the reason we're going into detail and really trying to express how important this is because this is really the trap. So many songs get written where it feels like a solid song, but we get to the end of the song and it's not clear what that song is about. There isn't really that crystallized, clear target that has been set up by the songwriter. And so it might be an interesting listening experience, but we don't have an emotional connection with that song because it's missing that core element.
So our goal as songwriters is not only to make a decision about what that title is, what the target is, but then to employ the craft of songwriting, the tools that we have available to us, with chords, with melody, with rhythm, to really put neon lights around that central target.
Just a quick note here, we're not just talking about pop writing. This principle is universal to songwriting regardless of what genre you're writing in.
Because what we're really talking about here is, as a songwriter, being able to express something that comes from you, but that actually transcends you and connects with someone else. And that only happens when you are clear about what it is that you are trying to convey.
And you know this as a listener. When you hear a song and the idea behind that song is so clear and so beautifully expressed, it hits you. It connects with you and you feel it. And it is a beautiful, satisfying and rewarding experience. We often think as songwriters that if we keep it vague and ambiguous and open to interpretation, that this somehow makes the experience deeper for the listener. But the opposite is true. When we're vague with what we're trying to communicate, the experience for the listener is shallower. They can't connect with what we're trying to express.
But when a message is clear, that clarity translates into a powerful and deep emotional experience for a listener.
Right. On to the tips.
Okay, so firstly, there are so many different tools and techniques and things that we could talk about in terms of crafting a great chorus, but we really want to keep it manageable and contained in this video. So what we want to do is give you one tip in each of three categories: lyrics, melody, and chords. And really, each of these tips is something that is very high impact, that if you implement this in the next 10 minutes, you will write a chorus that is a lot more clear and conveys the central idea of your song in a much more clear and direct way. All right, so let's get into it. So the first tip is a lyric writing tip, and the tip is very simple. Once you have found your title, which is often 6 words or less, conveys that core central theme, idea, emotion, image or metaphor, right, in an interesting, memorable or simply direct way. Once we've found that title, repeat the title at least twice inside the chorus. I cannot tell you how many students' songs I see where the chorus just looks like another verse. It's just more exposition, it's more storytelling. They haven't put neon lights around the central idea through the simple act of repetition. So repeating that title at least twice. One of my favorite techniques for doing this is a technique called title bookending, which is all about repeating that title line as the first line and the last line of the chorus. One of the benefits of repeating the title as the first and last line is that we're taking advantage of power positions. Power positions are lines within the structure of a section that have naturally brighter spotlights shining on them. Human psychology is just such that people pay more attention to the first thing and the last thing that you say or sing. And so when we put the title in those bright spotlights in the first position and last position, we're literally putting the title, the most important part of our song, into the position where the neon lights are already shining bright. Some examples of title bookending choruses are Stay With Me by Sam Smith, Chandelier by Sia, and Stranger in His Kiss by Laurie McKenna.
So let's talk about tip number 2, which is a melody writing tip. And it's another way to shine those lights even brighter on the title of your song. So here's the tip. Take the widest interval in your melody throughout the whole song and place that on the most important words in the title. The words that really express this central theme or idea of your song. And when we're talking about interval width, we're really just talking about the distance between 2 notes. So throughout your verses, it's okay to have these smaller intervals, these, intervals that aren't so wide. that actually creates a beautiful opportunity for the chorus to come along and really open up those intervals. And what the ear does when it hears those widening intervals, it gets excited. Our ear latches on to large interval leaps. So when we use the widest intervals on the most important words in our chorus, it sends a clear sonic signal to the listener that this is the part you should be paying attention to. This is the essence of the song.
A really great example of this by way of demonstration is the song Need You Now by Lady A. So if we look at the lyric of the title line in this song, the lyric is, it's 1:15, I'm all alone, and I need you now. So it's interesting because the important statement, the key emotional idea of this song, and it turns out what the song is also called, is I need you now, right? That is the most expressive, emotional, yearning part of it. And it turns out that is where the biggest interval is so far in the song. So let's have a listen. It's 1:15, I'm all alone and I need you now. If you listen to the rest of the chorus, there is actually a I need you now. 1:15, I'm all alone and I need. Listen. It's 1:15, I'm all alone and I need you now.
And I need.
If you listen to the rest of the chorus, there is actually a bigger interval that comes after that as the emotion of the chorus rises and rises. But that interval on Need You Now, it's the widest interval we've heard up until that point. So the ear really attaches itself to that moment. It becomes the hook and it lands inside the heart of a listener.
Tip number 3 is a chord one, and simply put, it is this. Whatever you've been starting your other sections on, whatever chords you've been using to start those sections, you're going to use a different chord to start your chorus.
This is such a simple tip, but I think it's really worth bringing up because it's very, very common for songwriters to get into a 4-chord loop, and that loop just rolls and rolls, and it steamrolls its way through the pre-chorus, and it steamrolls its way through the chorus, and it means that our melodies are trying so hard to create the chorus, to create the hook, and we can be left with this feeling like, it's just not working. And a lot of the time, it is actually because our chords, the bedrock, the foundation of our whole song, is just doing the same thing over and over again. We're not using chord strategies, and really simple strategies like change the bloody chord, to create a moment of contrast, to signal again to the ear that we have arrived at a different point in the song.
And it's not that you can't have 4 chords that repeat throughout a whole song. There are lots of songs that do this, but you'll find in those songs they have used other elements to create that contrast or to send a clear signal that this is now the chorus. What we're saying with this tip is that you really get to just use one new chord and send that signal to the listener that this is now a different section. And that is just such a simple and easy way to create that contrast and send that signal to your listener.
A really good example of this is the song Someone Like You by Adele, which I'll actually demonstrate for you in a moment. And what you can hear is that the pre-chorus of this song actually completely avoids the home chord of the key of the song. So we're going to play it in the key of G major. And the pre-chorus doesn't have the chord G major in it at all. But guess what? The first chord of the chorus is G major, and it's pretty dramatic. Let's have a go. You turned up out of the blue uninvited, but I couldn't stay away. I couldn't fight it. I hoped you'd see my face and that you'd be reminded that for me it isn't over.